TV. This Saturday, nostalgia comes to you instead of Fletch and Sav, which you definitely should never watch, as we covered last week.
Yeah,
the World Health Organization, biggest source of cancer known to man and woman. Not to force my gender upon you. Okay, this week we're going to talk about our favourite pundits. We can do ever, or we can do current. It's up to yourself. Rob Palmer, Conor Kelly.
Hi. Hello.
We'll start with you, Conor.
Okay, pundits.
Are you going ever or current?
I think I got current.
You can't pick Neville and you can't pick Carragher.
Yeah, I wasn't going.
Okay, because that's just a caveat, because obviously.
I think
they're great.
yeah. Two stand out at the moment. I wouldn't say Jermaine Genius is my favourite, but I'm very impressed by him.
Okay.
I think that he's measured. He clearly does his work and research, and I like listening to him.
Yeah. He's humble as well, isn't he? This guy.
My favourite pundit, though, at the moment, and has been for quite a while, is Richie Sadlier.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think because...
A divisive figure.
Yeah.
In Irish football.
Which is nonsense because...
He's brilliant.
Yeah, but he's brilliant. But the reason I like Sadlier so much is that I think it's emphasised by how bad the rest of the pundits around him are. John Giles, Eamon Dunphy, even Brady, Ronnie Whelan. He gets shoved with Kenny Cunningham. He always gets shoved with Kenny Cunningham for some reason. And yet, he still talks sense. He clearly does his research. And he's likeable.
Did just as a Sadlier, so did you see the last RTE coverage of a game? It was the Arsenal Bayern Munich game, and Michael O'Neill, the Northern Ireland manager, was on one side and Dunphy was on the other side, and Sadlier was in the middle. And Dunphy, to say he licked the arse off him isn't enough. He went further. Okay, he went further. It was the most awkward I have ever seen anyone look.
Prostate jiggling.
It was ludicrous. It wasn't even like, Michael here knows all about taking, meager resources, bringing them together, topping the European group. That's brilliant. It was literally just constantly going, and this man knows all about it. It's just like, it's not even patronising. It was weird. And sadly, I was just sitting in the middle just going,
sexual tension is unbelievable.
Michael O'Neill was just kind of like, didn't know where to look,
Surprised Dunphy
awkward.
Surprised Dunphy didn't come out and say, well, it was really Michael O'Neill I wanted, not Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, well, that's coming.
Yeah,
that's coming. Sorry, go on, so Sadlier.
Yeah, I think he's great. Like, he's measured, he's concise in what he wants to say, and he doesn't just talk about the accepted narrative that the rest of the RTE guys have. He always challenges them, and he's well thought out. You can watch it. You watch him as well. I think a lot of people don't like him because he's a bit ponderous. But he always clarifies and thinks what he's going to say.
So it's not sound bites.
It's not sound bites. It's not pre-prepared like Daily Star columns for the next day sort of stuff. Which incidentally, I imagine that whoever sub-edits or writes Dunphy's columns for him sits down. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sits down and watches the Champions League coverage and just takes bullet points of what Dunphy says and then puts them into a piece. Because there's no way Dunphy stays up till like 3 o'clock in the morning writing that speech.
It's not even that. Can you, like, the age of Dunphy, the amount of chemicals he undoubtedly ingests nightly. Talk about drink, by the way, because he's definitely drunk on air.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be able to.
He's admitted to utter illicit.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to get sued for libel, so I'm saying drink. And it's just there's no way he writes that. No way. Someone definitely writes it for him. Anyway, I apologise. Go on.
Yeah,
carry on.
But I think my favourite time to watch or to listen to Richie Sadlier is when he's on Second Captains.
Yes.
Because it's a little more light-hearted and it's a more informed and intelligent discussion. And Sadlier is just brilliant in that scenario. They ask him, what they ask him, right, which no one on RTE ever seems to ask him, is about his experiences as a player. And he always has an interesting anecdote or soundbite or story from his playing career that relates to something that's going on. Like, for instance, they were talking about the Diego Costa incidents a few weeks ago where Diego Costa, I think it was the Gabriel stuff. And they on Second Captains, they asked Sadlier, had he ever experienced a player like that who was a wind-up merchant? And he referenced playing with Dennis Wise at Millwall, sorry. And how Wisey was one of the most angry, or one of the most intelligent wind-up merchants in football, in that he could literally start an argument in an empty room. But Sadlier had a great story about how one of his teammates, I'm not sure who his teammate was, but Dennis Wise anyway had a full-on brawl with him before a game in the hotel the night before the game, like. And so anyway, this player Dennis Wise was sacked because of this, because he assaulted your man basically. He moved on to, I think it was Leicester. So Leicester played Millwall later in the season, and Sadlier had a very injury-prone career, so he was on the sideline watching this. And your man, the fella, I really can't remember the player's name now. It'll probably come back to me at some point. But he was sitting on the bench beside Sadler. And Dennis Wise scores late on after receiving vitriolic abuse for the whole game. And he runs over in front of your man and cups his ear and slides in front of him, right? So naturally your man responds and tries to like get at Wise and get sent off. And your man, I think your man got a 3-match ban because of Wise. Not only did Wise win the game for Leicester, he also got an opponent sent off and suspended.
Brilliant.
But yeah, sadly, you told the story just brilliantly. Honestly, I think he's great. I like Brian Kerr as well.
He's not bad for tackling issues as well, sadly, like mental health,
Yeah.
doubts about being injured, stuff like that. He covers stuff that you wouldn't hear from anyone else in the game because
He's
he's
great.
that hard man persona.
Yeah, well, the reason Sadler's punished career, I think, he's so good because his career ended so early that he had to focus his attention somewhere else.
Yeah.
And by doing that, he's developed into a very, very good pundit and a guy who doesn't just conform to this staged atmosphere of RTE broadcasts.
Yeah. Like I say, no sound bites. It is just coverage. Is that?
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, Palmer?
Yeah, mine would be Jerry Armstrong from Sky's coverage of La Liga. I know he's a co-commentator, but the bizarre way that Sky do La Liga now is that he's transformed into a pundit because at half time the commentators and the co-commentators have to do their own analysis rather than going back to the studio for most games. Yeah, they have. It's because of the bloody Premier League. But anyway, the reason I like him so much is because number one, his accent is great.
Yes.
Proper Nordy accent, it's brilliant. But it's like it's not
Impenetrable.
yeah, it's not impenetrable. Like it's nice, it's clear enough, but it's still got like a little tang there to it. Like but like he actually knows the game proper. That's a horrible phrase, but like he actually does. He's a deep thinker about the game because you do see him, and like, well, you don't see him. He's a fucking commentator, but you know what I mean.
You see him at half time now.
No, you don't. It's
Yeah,
just pictures of the pitch, and they talk and they go over the replays.
Sky.
It's Sky. You have.
They're doing what Satan to do,
Yeah, they
except
are,
for they're not on their
exactly.
own.
It's tragic, but like when when he talks about the game, it's not like at half time they're handed a sheet of paper from an analyst who was watching the game from an analytical point of view. It's like he does it on the fly. Like let's say Sociedad score a goal. Very rare, I know, but like let's say they score a goal, he'd be able to tell you what happened in the build up that led to this goal. And like he just breaks down the game so brilliantly. It's like he doesn't do it in like a complicated way or anything like that. It's just like as the average football man down the pub will be able to understand it. I think that's great. Like I think that's a really hard thing to do because if you talk to like people for the common football man down the pub and some of the stuff that they say to you when they're talking about football, it's a bit
It can be depressing.
yeah. It's like it's so stupid that you can't even understand it. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's gone beyond the level of simplicity that actual people can get their head around. But yeah, I just think he's brilliant because like he had a pretty good playing career as well, and like he's not one of these who is he's living off his reputation from when he was in the game. It's like he's actually went and invented himself a new like decent reputable like you know what I mean. He's gone and he's made himself good at what he does rather than kind of doing the Robbie Savage thing, for example, and going just going off what he done on the pitch as a player. Like he actually does work, and he obviously clearly does his research on all the clubs that he commentates on. It's great.
Imagine applying yourself to a different career.
Imagine applying yourself to a career.
Yeah.
That's it's new to a lot of the
Like just to follow up
footballers.
quickly on Palmer's points about, I think Sky's La Liga coverage in general, like Gaisca Mendieta is brilliant.
Yeah, Mendieta's great.
Love
To be
Mendieta.
honest, there is not one person on the La Liga coverage that I don't like. Mendieta's great. Terry Gibson's great. Graham Hunter when he's on is great.
Balagay.
Balagay is great as well.
Even your man.
Even though he's a bit tabloid, he is
Is
good.
Quinton Fortune still on it?
He's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah, he's great. Like he's really good.
The bits I've seen of him, I was just kind of
What's the guy's name? The guy, I think he played in England for like 2 years. They have him on Marcelino.
Marcin, he is
Excellent.
fantastic.
Excellent. Particularly considering
And they
it's-
have Albert Ferreira on as well. He's great.
considering most of these guys are speaking in their second language, to be able to articulate the game in such a brilliant way speaks volumes.
If you ever
for them.
want to like compare the two for laughs, it's a great game. I always play it. It's look at Marcelino when he's on Sky and compare his analysis of a game to when Harry Redknapp does be on BT. It is absolutely incredible because Marcelino does be talking about like the advancing fullback and the like centre or the defenseman. It's something complicated anyway, and Harry's just like, oh, there we go, didn't they? Tax evasion, and then that's basically it. Like
says he tried to sign him at some point.
yeah. Try
Blah,
to
blah,
sign
blah,
him
my
for one of my clubs that actually like me, which is one of them, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably Bournemouth.
I think the insight and that kind of thing that you're talking about is a result of sport and culture as well. I mean, we've spoken to McIntosh earlier because it's obviously been recorded at the same time. Who has the time? He says that there's a story about Roy Keane setting up a tactics board and then karate kicking it across the room when he was at Sunderland.
Yeah, incredible. Like another thing about Roy Keane. Remember, like he went to Tom Cleverley's house
Oh,
when he was at Villa. Like
he told John Walters, "I know where you live." Have you ever seen John Walters?
you wouldn't fuck with John Walters. Like
No.
Yeah, that's that. Keane continuously shows why he was a failure as a manager. Do you remember the comments about James McCarthy when James McCarthy, I think he
picked up a knock.
Yeah, he picked up a
Picked
knock.
up a knock in training.
Well, I expect him to pick up knocks because he's a midfielder. Well, Roy,
Maybe he plays in a different role.
Yeah.
than
This
what
may
you
be
played.
news to you. It's not 1994 anymore. It's
Keane just
not considered
Keane just
acceptable.
references.
So if we all can't play like you played against Juventus in '99,
Yeah.
would you relax, please?
Yeah, Keane just references like desire and commitment and tackles and physicality and intimidating your opponent. Like football.
That's what you need, though, Connor. Actually, he's a dope of a pundit as well.
Yeah,
He's a terrible manager, terrible pundit, terrible man. Terrible man.
terrible man.
Great beard, though. That's to be said. Always have to throw that in. You know, it's me.
Never really liked Roy Keane myself. I
No,
always
right.
struggled to.
He was a great player. I'll give him
I'd be
that.
on the side of
I think he was alright.
No.
He's a good leader.
I agree with.
Great player, technically, or great
Yeah, I
player
think
as a leader.
I think as an all-round package, he was a great player. I agree completely with all of the other points you made, but what he did to get Ireland to that World Cup 2002 was one of the great one-man efforts throughout a campaign.
Yeah.
Like, because if you think about it, Robbie Keane and Damien Duff weren't at the level for Ireland anyway that they reached in time. I know Damien Duff was exciting. Robbie Keane was scoring goals, but they weren't at the level that they got to for Ireland in terms of importance.
Yeah, but again, was that the personality of Keane or was that him as a player?
Could have been.
I think his leadership quality is indisputed. The ability to grab games by the scruff, but to say he's not a good footballer.
But think about the point that I made in the show. If you didn't listen to the show, go do that video. It's good, really good. But the point that I made in the show was that Xabi Alonso came out and said, "What is the point of tackling as a holding midfielder?" He's like, "You shouldn't need to do it." When Roy Keane's game was tackling.
Yeah.
Like
I
he
also
shouldn't have
think
needed
he
to do
scored
it.
before his knees and his hamstrings gave way.
As a result of said
Yeah,
tactics.
Yeah,
he scored goals.
Thought he could have read the game.
He scored important goals. He dictated play. Like I think it was
He
Darren
did not
Fletcher.
dictate play. He
did.
did not dictate play.
100% he did. Or
No, he
before
didn't.
his injuries, he did.
No, he didn't.
Like
I completely disagree with that.
Darren Fletcher, right?
Yeah.
Darren Fletcher was interviewed on Graham Hunter's podcast recently, and he went out of his way. And I don't know, like he has no reason to go out of his way to praise Keane anymore because he's not doesn't work with him or anything like that. But he said that Keane was the most underrated passer he ever played with, and he said that until Paul Scholes only developed into the player that he became when Keane left because Keane was the guy who dictated the game, and he said that he said that side of Keane's game was so underrated, like because of the other aspects like his leadership and his physicality and all that stuff. He said that the rest of his game was completely underrated. And I tend to agree a little bit. Like for Ireland, I always thought he was immense, and we would have probably done better at that World Cup if he had played in that Spain game with his leadership.
Yeah, but the very point is that he didn't and he went home.
Oh yeah,
That's why I don't like Keane at all. I
don't like him either, and I'll never forgive him for that. But
It doesn't disservice to the guys who
it
want
doesn't
to play
take
for Ireland.
it doesn't take away that he was a great player though.
Do you want my favourite pundit?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Kevin
sorry.
Caban, I'm going to go for.
Caban?
Yeah, I will
He's
a
actually
lot
great
of time
as
for
well.
Kevin Caban. I think he's all that Sadler is, and I think he's really for some reason like the pundits that he's with respect him, so they listen to him as well. Like I'll never be more impressed with him in the Europa League final he covered with Benfica, and he was just able to just run through everything about both teams, and it was just like
That
it's amazing to see because it's something. Obviously, he was a footballer. We never knew that he was so insightful, that he was so intelligent. It's just
Comes
just
across as a really
incredible.
affable guy as well.
Oh yeah,
Like, he's not like,
yeah.
like for example Sadler, who comes across maybe a bit spiky sometimes.
Yeah, he loves
But,
to.
like,
Yeah,
But like Kilban just seems like the kind of guy who like he makes opinions like, hey, that's good one.
Yeah.
But then like you don't want to correct him because he's so nice.
Yeah.
But like he's never wrong, so you don't need to.
I just think he's great. Like the Europa League was just the one where I realised that he was the Europa League final, I should say. Was that I realised that he was that good. And then since then, I've been hugely impressed. He's appeared on various media platforms, the odd time. I'd love to see him get into Irish TV regularly, just purely selfishly, obviously.
On a related note, another guy in a similar fashion is Kevin Davis.
I haven't seen any of his
Kevin
stuff.
Davis.
I've heard good things.
Kevin Davis retired quietly at the end of last season. No one really heard about it, but he started doing co-commentary for BT on like Bundesliga games and Ligue 1 games. But there was no fuss made about this at all because he doesn't do any Premier League games, but he does all of the Continental games on like Friday evening. So if you watch BT's coverage of whatever league they're showing on Friday night, invariably Kevin Davis will be on, and he's
Let's check that out.
he's brilliant. Like he's so good. I had to when I was listening to him for a half of a game one time last season, and I was just like, this is so impressive. This guy knows what he's talking about. And then when I found out it was Kevin Davis, I was like, I can't be Kevin Davis. So I googled
It
it.
has to be a different Kevin Davis.
Yeah, it has to be different. Like, it has to be different Kevin Davis. So I googled it, but it was definitely him. Like, it was, I think there was an article praising his punditry style and just said that like he quietly went into the punditry arena without any fanfare. He didn't even make appearances on like a panel or anything.
Yeah, they usually ease you in, don't they? So,
And he's brilliant. Like he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, he deserves credit as well for immersing himself in another couple of leagues and building up a knowledge of that.
Tough job, co-coms as well. So it's easy to be entertaining when you're not the main person, etc. Okay, least favourite pundit then, lads?
Savage.
Yeah, Robbie
Savage. Subscribe to Final Third TV on YouTube. I don't think any more needs to be said about that, really. Follow us on Twitter at @the final_third, and thanks for watching.